Namaste, Dhanava Pranam. By the instruction and grace of our spiritual master, Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa, Shripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj, we are here reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're also paying our humble obeisance to Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who has provided us with this commentary and translation of the Bhagavatam, and following the guidance and instruction of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, we are praying to Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati has told us that unless we can understand something about Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī through our study of Bhagavatam, then our study has been pointless. Yadi sevā-vañcitāḥ yasyāḥ kṛpayā vayaṃ labhema sarvaṃ prāpnumaḥ prayojanaṃ dhāmni śrī-bhagavat pade Kṛṣṇa-sambandhi sarvaṃ cha Yadi na jānīmahe tutam Aṣṭādaśasu sahasreṣu ślokānāṃ bhāgavat-oktiṣu Rādhārānīṃ na vindamattada nishphalam bhagavat yayinam radhikaya kripam vina vyartasyat sarva-pariśramaḥ. If we are cheated out of serving that personality whose mercy awards us everything we need, including residence in the Lord's holy Dham and all things connected to Krishna, and if we cannot understand or discover Rādhārānīṃ within the 18,000 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, then our study of Srimad Bhagavatam has been pointless. Without the mercy of Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī, all of our efforts are in vain. So we are continuing our reading from Canto 5. Chapter 18, text 34. Uttareshu cha kurushu bhagavan yajya purusha Kṛtavaraha rupa aste tam tu devi Haisabu shaha kurubir ashkalita bhakti yogeno padhavati imam cha paramam upanishadam avartayati. Sukadev Goswami said, Dear King, the Supreme Lord in his boar incarnation, who accepts all sacrificial offerings, lives in the northern part of Jambudvipa. There, in the tract of land known as Uttarakuru Varsha, Mother Earth and all the other inhabitants worship him with unfailing devotional service by repeatedly chanting the following Upanishad mantra. Text 35. Om Namo Bhagavate Mantra Tattva Lingaya Yagya Kratave Maha Dvara vayaṃ Purushaya Nama Karma Shuklaya Trayugaya Namaste. O Lord, we offer our respectful obeisances unto you as the gigantic person. Simply by chanting mantras, we shall be able to understand you fully. You are yajna, sacrifice, and you are the kratu, ritual. Therefore, all ritualistic ceremonies of sacrifice are part of your transcendental body, and you are the only enjoyer of all sacrifices. Your form is composed of transcendental goodness. You are known as Tri-Yuga because in Kali Yuga you appeared as a concealed incarnation, and because you always fully possess the three pairs of opulences. Purport. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the incarnation for this age of Kali, as confirmed in many places throughout the Puranas, the Mahabharata, Srimad Bhagavatam, and the Upanishads. The summary of his appearance is given in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 6.99 as follows. Kali Yuge Lila Vatara. This is Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, Kali Yuge Lila Vatara Nakare Bhagavan Ateva Trayuga Kari Kahitara Nama. In this age of Kali, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan, does not appear as a Leela avatar, an incarnation to display pastimes. Therefore, he is known as Trayuga. Unlike other incarnations, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears in this age of Kali as a devotee of the Lord. Therefore, he is called a concealed incarnation, Chana avatar. Text 36. Yasyasvarupam kavayo vipaschito guneshu darusviva jata vedasam matananti matna manasa didrikshavo gudham kriyartar nama iritatmane. By manipulating a fire-generating stick, great saints and sages can bring forth the fire lying dormant within wood. In the same way, O Lord, those expert in understanding the absolute truth try to see you in everything, even in their own bodies. Yet you remain concealed. You are not to be understood by indirect processes involving mental or physical activities. Because you are self-manifested, only when you see that a person is wholeheartedly engaged in searching for you do you reveal yourself. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Purport. The word kriyartai means by performing ritualistic ceremonies to satisfy the demigods. The word vipaschita is explained in the Taittiriya Upanishad as follows. Satyajnanam anantam brahma yo veda nihitam guyam parme vyoman shonute sarvan kaman saha brahmana vipaschiteti. As Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita 7.19, Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavamam prapadyante. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me. When one understands that the Lord is situated in everyone's heart and actually sees the Lord present everywhere, he has perfect knowledge. The word Jata Veda means fire which is produced by rubbing wood. In Vedic times, learned sages could bring forth fire from wood. Jata Veda also indicates the fire in the stomach, which digests everything we eat and which produces an appetite. The word Gudha is explained in the Svetasvatra Upanishad. Eko deva sarva-bhuteshu Gudha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is understood by chanting the Vedic mantras. Sarva-vyapi sarva-bhutantar atma. He is all-pervading, and he is within the heart of living entities. Karmadhyaksha sarva bhuta divasyaha. He witnesses all activities of the living entity. Sakshi cheta kevalo nirgunascha. The Supreme Lord is the witness as well as the living force, yet he is transcendental to all material qualities. Text 37. Dravya kriya het vayanesha kartribir maya gunar vastu nirikshitatmane anvishayan gati sayatma bodhibir nirasta maya kritaye namo namaha. The objects of material enjoyment, sound, form, taste, touch, and smell, the activities of the senses, the controllers of sensory activities, the demigods, the body, eternal time, and egotism are all creations of your material energy. Those whose intelligence has become fixed by perfect execution of mystic yoga can see that all these elements result from the actions of your external energy. They can also see your transcendental form as supersoul in the background of everything. Therefore, I repeatedly offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Purport. The objects of material enjoyment, the sensory activities, attachment to sensual pleasure, the body, false egotism, and so on, are produced by the Lord's external energy, Maya. The background of all these activities is the living being, and the director of the living beings is a supersoul. The living being is not the all in all. He is directed by the supersoul. In Bhagavad Gita 15.15, Krishna confirms this. Sarvasya chaham hridishani vishto motas mritir jnanam apohanam cha. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. The living entity depends on the supersoul for directions. A person advanced in spiritual knowledge, or a person expert in the practice of mystic yoga, yama, niyama, asana, and so on, can understand transcendence either as Paramatma or as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Lord is the original cause of all natural events. Therefore, he is described as Sarva Karana Karanam in Brahma Samhita 5.1, the cause of all causes. Behind everything visible to our material eyes is some cause, and one who can see the original cause of all causes, Lord Krishna, can actually see. Krishna, the Satchidananda Vigraha, Brahma Samhita 5.1, is the background of everything, as he himself confirms in Bhagavad Gita 9.10. Mayadhyakshena prakriti suyate sa characharam hetunanena kaunteya jagad viparivartate. This material nature is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, and it is producing all moving and unmoving beings. By its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. And thus ends our reading for today. We will continue from text 38 on Friday. So again, the theme from this last section, for the last several readings that we've been doing, is about the transcendence and the immanence of the Lord in the creation. So all these verses that we read today seem to be pointing at the immanence of Krishna in as the cause of all causes, the cause behind the natural forces that we observe with the senses, the functioning of the senses themselves, like that. So we can kind of trace that out when we meditate on the cause of our experience of any natural phenomena is, we can come at it from two sides, right? The first side is our conscious experience. If we were not conscious, we would not be experiencing any of the natural phenomena that our senses pick up on. But our consciousness is finite. So that which is finite ultimately must be derived from that which is infinite. Otherwise, you just get a regression of finite depends on finite, depends on finite, depends on finite, but there can never be a first finite unless it's self-caused, because finite must rely on something other than itself. So once you get to a self-caused finite, that's what the infinite is. right? So that's one angle. And the other angle is the things, the objects that are being observed themselves. The ordering, right? The ordering of phenomena. It's not just a chaos, right, in nature, although it can be chaotic, but it's an ordered chaos. There's rhyme and reason. There's predictability. The reason that there's predictability is because it's a system. It's systematic. Things happen in certain ways. It's not just happening in all different ways all the time, completely unpredictable, right? That's not the case. There's an order. So order is dependent on some intelligence to do the ordering, right? We never see that a chaotic random event produces a systematic order that repeats its behavior continuously, right? We never see an explosion produce an organized system that behaves in the same way. We don't see that anywhere. Rather, we see that some intelligence must come and organize a system, and only then does it abide by some behavior, some repeatable behavior. So again, we see the necessity of an organizing intelligence in what's being observed. So in that way, Krishna is the cause of all causes, as the ordering intelligence that permeates nature, and also that infinite consciousness that is the context and the seat of all finite consciousness, which is observing those natural systems. So in some way we can meditate on how what is being said here about Krishna being the cause of all causes, being immanent within all of these natural things. We can, by the grace of our gurus, Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj, we can see something of what is being said there. It's not just completely mysterious. It's still mysterious, but not completely out of the realm of being able to talk about it. But only because we've heard it from qualified persons. We could never have arrived at that conclusion ourselves by just speculating. Right? We need to hear. We need to associate with those who are more qualified than us. Which is very easy because we're so unqualified. But we need to hear. That's why the process of Shravanam is so important in Bhakti. Shravanam is the first process of Bhakti, hearing. And then once you hear, then you can chant, then you can talk about it, then you can repeat what you've heard. Shravanam Kirtanam. And then Shravanam Kirtanam comes Smaranam. Smaranam is the third thing, that's the remembrance. So hearing, chanting, remembering. First we hear about it from a higher authority, then we can consider it ourselves, repeat what they're saying, mull it over, discuss it further, chant, kirtan, and then we remember it. Then it becomes a part of our consciousness. So that's the processes of bhakti. The first 3 steps of the 9 limbs of bhakti are hearing, chanting, remembering. Okay. Jai Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharya Dev, Srila Tirtha Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai.
Jai.
All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the worldwide devotees, Sama Bhaktiveda Vrinda Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai, Mayapur Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ju Ki Jai, Ganga Mai, Yamuna Mai Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Giri Govardhan, Gupta Govardhan Dham Ki Jai, Shyam Kund, Radha Kund Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi, Bhakti Devi, Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. Jai Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai, Scientific Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai, Princeton Bhaktivedanta Institute Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari 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 Bo.
Hari Bo.
Jai Śrīmatī Tulsi Maharani Devi Dasi Ki Jai.
Krishna Keshava Das Brahmachari Ki Jai.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. Hare Krishna.